We've got more news today regarding one of the biggest events in the game to be played later this year. Taking a look at the proposed schedule created by golf's governing bodies, the only major expected to fall within the 2019-2020 wraparound season is the PGA Championship, which is currently scheduled to begin on August 6th. Yesterday, in an interview with SiriusXM, PGA of America's CEO Seth Waugh had this to say about the plans for the first major of the calendar year. The plan is to do it as normally as possible, with fans, obviously, and have a fairly normal PGA Championship at Harding Park. It is if the safest way and or the only way to do it is without fans, then we're fully prepared to do that. We believe that having it as a television event is worth doing, regardless of whether there's fans there or not. Obviously, that'll change the experience, but we think the world is starved for some entertainment, and particularly in sports. So, guys, it is incredibly difficult to imagine a major championship without fans. Those galleries is partly what makes it so special and so iconic. Do you think, Damon Hack, that a major can have the prestige that we know and love about it without any galleries at all?
I think it can, and to me, it's less about the crowd and more about the course. That's the way I've always looked at major championships. I've been excited as a sports writer and golf writer. Okay, where's the U.S. Open going to be in 5 years? Where's the PGA going to be in 7 years? Oh, this golf course. How will the USGA set up this course, or the PGA of America set up that course? How will the R&A set up an Open Championship? Much less about the gallery. And sure, the players are used to playing in front of galleries. They do it week to week on the PGA Tour. To me, it's been about the toughness of that venue. How thick is the rough? How narrow are the fairways? What competitive, statement is this governing body making with the way the golf course is set up? I think if someone were to win a major championship without a gallery, it would still be a major championship. A rose would still smell as sweet, of any other name would still smell as sweet.
I completely disagree with you, Damon. I do believe that the prestige is still there. Your name is on the trophy for forever, and you will be a part of a very select group that have won a major championship. But the reality is you cannot recreate the same kind of environment without fans. It'll just feel like a high pressure moment without fans. And that, to me, may as well be Q school. It is not just about the golf course. It really is about the reverberation of the echoes throughout the entire property, to feel the energy from the crowd holes away when you know somebody else is chasing you. There's definitely a difference when there's crowds around.
There's no doubt about it.
I disagree, Paige. I think there's even more pressure should there be no crowd and not knowing necessarily what's going on. I think from an atmospheric standpoint, you're going to miss having, say, those Augusta eagle roars or birdie roars, but to have not necessarily clarity in what's exactly going on the golf course, I think that vacuum would almost create even a greater pressure-filled situation than you would by having a gallery. It would definitely be different, but we've seen majors finish with playoffs. We've seen majors finish on Mondays. We've seen them go 75 holes or another 18 holes in the case of the old format for a U.S. Open playoff. This would just be a different wrinkle. It would be something different, but I think to say it would be anything less than a major championship would be unfair to the quality of the winner and the quality of golf required to win said major championship.
It won't be not a major. I mean, it will still be a major win. You will feel, whoever wins will feel the satisfaction of being a major championship, and it'll go into the history books as this person won this major with no fans. But it's going to feel different and not in a good way. Imagine Tiger's 19 Masters win if he were there by himself. I mean, probably the best part of this was the reaction of everyone and himself and the interacting with the fans afterwards. Imagine, heaven forbid, when Tiger won the Tour Championship and like the Pied Piper, looked like all of Atlanta was following him up the 18th fairway. Imagine no one followed him up the 18th fairway. It would have still been a win. It would have still been incredible for Tiger, but it wouldn't have felt anywhere near the same. It's going to be a strange thing. Somebody's still going to walk away with the Wanamaker Trophy, but you're going to be deprived of maybe the best moment, and that is the the cheers when the last putt goes in and the soaking in that I am a major champion. It's going to be taken away from them.
Yeah, Damon Hack, I think you're in the minority here. And Robert, you mentioned just the 2019 Masters there. It was interesting to hear Francesco Molinari, after his round on Sunday, express that a huge part of his demise was the fact that 99% of the crowd who was there was hugely cheering on Tiger Woods. And all of a sudden, he didn't have that support system that he probably did at the Open Championship, and was part of the reason why he was able to prevail there. But Damon, I know, being mere amateur golfers, we've never experienced the crowds, but you can surely imagine that hearing those roars from Tiger all over the crowd, or whoever it may be, audibly being able to hear the pressure on your shoulders, is much worse than just sitting there in silence. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, no doubt changed the atmospherics of that major championship, but that par 3, hole number 12, is still a difficult shot, whether you got thousands of people behind you or not. That third shot that Francesco hit from the left side of 15, those trees are still there for him to hit a pine cone with his third and for the ball to go in the water. I understand the atmospherics and the energy that a crowd can create, but I think sometimes silence can create that pressure as well. The silence on a basketball court, for a free throw shot, for a home team and a home crowd, when that player is trying to swish it from 15 feet away, there can be pressure in silence. I know there's an atmosphere in crowds, but I think that it would be something we'd have to get used to. You bring the 19 Masters. That 19 Masters wasn't your typical Sunday afternoon. It was a Sunday morning because of impending rain showers. You've got some changes we've seen throughout the history of major championships. This would just be one more change, a big change, but we've seen changes before in major championships.
Adaptation is imperative in this situation, but I'll put it to you this way. My single most favorite memory of playing professional golf was at the US Open. And I hit a shot and I knew it was good before the crowd knew it was good. And that singular moment made me want to play this game for a living. I was playing the US Open actually as an amateur. And it was one of those moments that I will never forget in my life. And it had everything to do with the crowd, nothing to do with the shot or the golf course or the vacuum.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly two sides to this. Yes, we are absolutely starved of major championship golf, and we'd love to watch it no matter what. But for some people, maybe the 2020 PGA Championship will always have an asterisk next to it if there aren't any crowds putting on that pressure to the world's best players. So it's a really interesting debate to have, and we'd love to see some major championship golf this season, no matter what. But stay with us here on Morning Drive, as we will be back with you very shortly.